Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm so glad you're here today because we're diving into something that many of us don't talk about enough, especially as we age. Today's topic is all about the gut and what happens when you drink water right after eating, especially once you're past 50. You might be thinking, wait a second, isn't drinking water good for you? And yes, of course it is. But just like how your sleep patterns change with age, or how your joints feel different now than they did in your 30s, your digestive system also changes over time. So, what really happens inside your body when you take that glass of water after finishing a meal? In this video, we're going to explore the science behind digestion after 50, why timing matters so much, and how adding water immediately after meals can either help or hurt depending on how you do it. I'll walk you through exactly what happens in your stomach and intestines when water enters the scene too soon. We'll look at real-life examples from people who've experienced bloating, discomfort, fatigue, even acid reflux, and how changing their post-meal hydration habits made a world of difference. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear understanding of how to support your digestion, avoid unnecessary discomfort, and make small but powerful changes to your routine. And before we dive in, I'd love to know, where are you watching from? Drop a comment below with your city or state. It's always amazing to hear from viewers around the country and the world. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. You never want to miss these kinds of health insights. Alright, let's get started. Section 1: Understanding Digestion After 50. Let's start by talking about digestion, not just what it is, but how it shifts as we get older. When we're younger, digestion often feels effortless. Our bodies produce strong stomach acids, our enzymes work efficiently, and food moves through our system without much fuss. But as we reach our 50s and beyond, things begin to slow down. Your body starts producing less gastric acid, which means food doesn't break down as quickly. Enzyme production, the stuff that helps digest proteins, fats, and carbs, also begins to decline. And your metabolism? That's not quite as fast as it used to be either. All of this affects how your body handles food, including how it reacts to liquids, especially water, right after eating. Now, let's zoom in on what happens in the stomach. When you eat, your stomach releases hydrochloric acid and digestive enzymes to break down your food into a semi-liquid mixture called chyme. This process takes time, and it needs the right environment, one with the correct pH balance. But when you drink a lot of water immediately after eating, it can dilute the stomach acid that's already working. Essentially, it's like turning up the volume on a radio and then pouring water into it. The signal gets weaker, the clarity disappears, and the whole system stumbles. For some people, especially those over 50, this can lead to symptoms like bloating, gas, heartburn, feeling overly full, fatigue after meals. These symptoms aren't normal, even if they feel familiar. They're signs that your digestive system is struggling to keep up. And in many cases, simply adjusting your hydration habits can make a big difference. Let me tell you about someone named Martha. She's 63, and she used to finish her lunch with a big glass of cold water. She thought she was doing herself a favor, helping flush out her system and stay hydrated. But every day after lunch, she'd feel sluggish. Her stomach would bloat, and sometimes she even had indigestion. After a few months of this, she mentioned it to her doctor. He asked her about her habits, and one of the first questions was, "What do you drink after meals?" Once she stopped drinking large amounts of water immediately after eating and instead waited 30 minutes, everything started to shift. The bloating eased, her energy stayed steadier, and she didn't feel like she needed a nap after lunch anymore. That's the power of small adjustments. And it's not about cutting out water, it's about giving your body time to do its job before adding more liquid into the mix. Section 2: Why drinking water immediately after meals can cause problems. So now that we understand how digestion works and how it changes with age, let's go deeper into why drinking water right after eating becomes more problematic after 50. One of the biggest issues is the dilution of digestive enzymes and stomach acid. As we age, our bodies already produce less of these crucial components. So when you add a large amount of water right after eating, it further weakens the stomach's ability to break down food effectively. This means food stays in your stomach longer, leading to feelings of heaviness, discomfort, and even nausea. Worse yet, undigested food that lingers in the stomach can ferment, producing gas and contributing to bloating and abdominal pressure. Another issue is lowered core temperature. Cold water, in particular, can cause the stomach muscles to constrict, slowing digestion even more. For younger individuals, this might not be a problem, the body can compensate. But for someone over 50, whose metabolism has naturally slowed, this can create a noticeable drop in energy levels and digestive distress. Think of digestion like cooking a pot of soup. If you throw ice cubes into that hot soup, it cools everything down and slows the simmering process. The same thing happens in your stomach when you consume something cold. It cools the digestive fire, making it harder for your system to process food. Also, drinking water immediately after a meal can disrupt nutrient absorption. Your body relies on the acidic environment of the stomach to extract nutrients from food. Water dilutes that environment, which means fewer vitamins, minerals, and other essential compounds get absorbed properly. Over time, this can lead to subtle nutritional deficiencies, even if you're eating a healthy diet. People may notice feeling tired, having weaker hair or nails, or experiencing mood swings, all of which could be tied to poor digestion and reduced nutrient uptake. Let's look at another example. Meet James, 71, who was active his whole life and ate clean, whole foods. But he started noticing that even though he was eating well, he wasn't feeling nourished. He had low iron levels, felt fatigued, and sometimes struggled with brain fog. His nutritionist looked at his habits and discovered he drank almost an entire bottle of water within 5 minutes of finishing each meal. Once he adjusted that, sipping small amounts of room temperature water during meals and waiting 20 to 30 minutes after eating to drink more, his energy levels improved, and his blood tests showed better iron absorption. The key takeaway here is that hydration is important, but timing matters. Your body wants to focus on digestion first. Once that process is underway, you can hydrate more freely without disrupting it. Bottom line, drinking large amounts of water immediately after eating can slow digestion, reduce nutrient absorption, cause bloating, gas, and heartburn, lead to fatigue and mental fog. So, while it may seem harmless, it's actually putting extra strain on your gut, and after 50, your body doesn't need any more stress than necessary. Section 3. How to stay hydrated without hurting your gut. Okay, so now that we've talked about why drinking water right after meals can be problematic, let's shift focus to the solution: how to stay hydrated without harming your digestion. First off, let's clarify one thing: you absolutely still need to drink water. In fact, staying hydrated becomes even more important as you age, since your sense of thirst decreases, and your body holds onto fluids differently. The goal here isn't to stop drinking water, it's to optimize when and how you drink it so it supports your digestion instead of interfering with it. Here are a few simple strategies to help you stay hydrated without causing gut issues. 1. Hydrate before meals instead of after. Instead of waiting until after you eat, try drinking a glass of warm or room temperature water 30 minutes before your meal. This primes your digestive system, stimulates saliva production, and gently wakes up your metabolism, all great things for digestion. Warm water, in particular, is easier on the gut and helps activate the digestive juices in your stomach. It's like warming up your engine before driving: smoother, more efficient, and less stressful on the system. 2. Sip small amounts during meals. If you feel thirsty while eating, that's totally fine, just limit yourself to small sips, not big gulps. You can have a glass of water nearby, but take only a few swallows at a time. This keeps the digestive environment intact while still keeping you comfortable. Avoid drinking so much that you feel full again. That's a sign you're possibly diluting your stomach acid. 3. Wait 20 to 30 minutes after eating to drink more. Give your body time to start breaking down food before flooding the system with more liquid. A good rule of thumb is to wait at least 20 to 30 minutes after finishing your meal before drinking anything more than a few sips. During that time, go for a short walk, do some light stretching, or just sit quietly and give your body the space to digest. 4. Choose room temperature or warm water over cold. As we've already discussed, cold water can shock the digestive tract and slow down enzyme activity. Stick with water that's at room temperature or slightly warm, especially if you're prone to bloating or sluggish digestion. Herbal teas like ginger or peppermint can also be great options after meals. They support digestion and soothe the gut lining without the harsh effects of cold beverages. 5. Watch out for plastic bottles left out overnight. Quick side note, if you're keeping water by your bed in a plastic bottle, be careful. Some plastics can leach chemicals into the water, especially if left in warm environments. These disrupt hormones and place extra stress on your liver and gut. Opt for glass or stainless steel bottles instead, and refill them fresh each morning rather than reusing old ones. 6. Listen to your body. Not everyone reacts the same way, and that's okay. Some people can drink water right after meals and feel fine. If that's you, great. But if you've been dealing with bloating, gas, or fatigue after eating, experimenting with your hydration habits might bring relief. Try shifting when you drink water, track how you feel, and see what works best for your body. Let's take another example. Linda, 68, loved drinking lemon water after breakfast. But she noticed that half an hour later, she'd feel bloated and sluggish. She tried moving her lemon water to 30 minutes before breakfast instead, and suddenly, her mornings felt lighter and more energized. Sometimes, small tweaks like this can make a huge difference. Section 4. Real Stories and Transformations. Let's take a moment to hear from people who've gone through this journey, and how making small hydration changes turned their health around. Take Nancy, 70, who used to suffer from constant bloating and fatigue after meals. She came to me frustrated because she thought she was doing everything right, eating whole foods, staying active, drinking plenty of water. But every time she finished a meal, she'd grab a big glass of water and chug it down. Within minutes, she'd feel heavy, tired, and sometimes even nauseous. After learning about the impact of post-meal hydration, she decided to experiment. She cut back on drinking water right after meals and instead practiced sipping small amounts during meals and waiting 30 minutes afterward before drinking more. Within 2 weeks, she noticed a dramatic improvement. No more afternoon crashes, no more bloating, and even her skin looked clearer and healthier. Or consider Robert, 74, who struggled with acid reflux. He thought it was just part of aging, until he realized that most of his flare-ups happened shortly after drinking a full glass of water after dinner. He switched to sipping herbal tea instead and waited 30 to 40 minutes before drinking regular water. His symptoms faded, and he finally got a good night's sleep without waking up with burning sensations in his chest. Even healthcare professionals are starting to recognize the importance of hydration timing. One gastroenterologist I spoke with shared that many of her patients over 50 report similar improvement simply by adjusting when they drink water. She explained that the digestive system is like any other organ, it needs time, space, and the right conditions to function optimally. Rushing it or interrupting the process with a flood of water can cause unnecessary stress and discomfort. So whether you're dealing with minor annoyances like bloating or more serious issues like acid reflux or fatigue, consider looking at your hydration habits. You might be surprised how much better you feel just by making a few small changes. Section 5. Final Thoughts and Action Steps. Alright friends, we've covered a lot today, and I hope this gave you a new perspective on something as simple as hydration. Drinking water is essential, especially as we age. But the timing of when we drink it, especially around meals, is just as important as the act itself. Water is not the enemy. In fact, it's one of the best tools we have for staying healthy. But using it wisely, by giving your body time to digest before adding more fluid, is the key to supporting your gut, your energy, and your overall comfort. Here's a quick recap of what we've learned. After 50, digestion naturally slows down. Drinking water immediately after eating can dilute digestive enzymes and stomach acid. This leads to bloating, fatigue, indigestion, and even poor nutrient absorption. The solution isn't to stop drinking water, it's to time it correctly. Try hydrating before meals, sip lightly during, and wait after eating to fully rehydrate. Room temperature water is gentler on the gut than cold. Listen to your body, adjust based on how you feel. Think about your own routine. Are you someone who finishes a meal and immediately drinks a full glass of water? If so, how does your body respond? Do you feel bloated? Tired? Heavy? Try making one small adjustment tomorrow. Wait 20 to 30 minutes before drinking more than a few sips after a meal. Notice how your body responds. Track your energy, your digestion, and your overall comfort. If you found this helpful, please share it with someone you care about, maybe a friend, a parent, or a neighbor who might be dealing with the same gut issues after meals. And if you'd like to see more content like this, honest, gentle, and practical, be sure to enter Zen so you never miss a new video. Thank you so much for being here. Your health matters. Your comfort matters. And your story? It matters too. Until next time, take care of yourself, and remember, small changes can lead to big results. See you soon. Like what you heard today? Hit that like button, leave a comment below, I'd love to hear from you. Where are you watching from? Let me know your city or town, it's always fun to connect with our community. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell so you get notified every time we drop a new episode. Because we're diving deep into health topics that matter, not just for today, but for the decades ahead. Remember, your body is wiser than ever now, and it deserves to be supported with care, awareness, and compassion. You've come a long way, and you're still growing, still learning, still investing in your future self. Thanks again for being here. See you next time. Stay healthy, your inner Zen.